What is going on, everybody? Another day, another dollar. This is episode 149 of Stats Over Politics. For audio-only listeners, you're not going to hear Shaun's voice. He's at a family retreat in Lake Tahoe. So it is Kevin, Alex, and Toddy holding it down. For the audio-only listeners, you're about to hear an amazing sound because we are celebrating, as you can see, for the jersey. It's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that went into this. This is an Adidas jersey. They don't even sell these no more. I don't want to hear no bandwagon. I don't want to hear no Kings. I don't want to hear none of that because today I am a champion. OKC Kevin Durant jersey. You can't even buy this no more. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling amazing. It's another day, another dollar. Jaevon, Toddy, how are you doing today?
Kevin, he's just, you never know what you're going to get with this guy. Literally every single day. I don't know what I'm going to hear from him. It's like, I don't know if you guys remember when you were kids when you just kept opening up that, it's like a bottle. You keep opening up stuff and just new stuff just keeps coming out, This is the guy to my left who I've known for almost, I'd say, for about a decade now, decade plus. So, he's bandwagon. All the stuff that he's saying right now is just, I never know what I get from. But
I'm not a Thunder fan. I just had to put it on. I feel like it was a great intro to the show to really set the tone.
We have officially entered the dog days of summer. That's what we've entered.
Truly the dog days, brother. About to cancel my YouTube TV for 2 months. Nothing to watch.
There is the W.
Yeah, I might do that.
We have the W League Pass, though. I don't need to watch it on YouTube TV.
Yeah.
No, I understand. Okay.
Kev said that's $80 out of my pocket.
That's $80. That's $60. I don't gotta spend that till September 4th. But Alex, how are we doing today?
I'm alive. I'm breathing. I'm good.
Before we get this started, I have to give a shout out to one of my boys, Logan. He just got engaged this weekend. He tunes into the pod every week, so I wanted to come in here and show him some love. So we are going to get going. The Oklahoma City Thunder beat the Pacers 4-3 in the NBA Finals. And I speak for all four of us, including Shaun. First quarter, we see Tyrese Halliburton hit 3 threes. And in basketball, they always tell you negative steps are never good. My man took a negative step. That Achilles went the other way, and it was game over. Toddy, what were your thoughts on not only Tyrese Halliburton going down with a torn Achilles, but the Thunder winning 4-3 in Game 7?
I mean, I think we all were pretty bummed out when it happened. He started as hot as he could have for the entire series. I think he ended up leading the team in 3-pointers made for the entire game in that first quarter stretch that he had. You could just feel the energy with the Pacers kind of coming out with a lot of energy. OKC was ready to play as well, obviously, it being a Game 7, the first Game 7 that we had in almost 10 years since the LeBron James blocked by James 3-1 Cavs. As Kevin will probably like to let a lot of people know that was the hardest championship ever. That's another story for another day. But I think just the game itself, I mean, when Tyrese went down, I think we all kind of knew in the back of our minds there's no way that they'll be able to win. But surprisingly so, the Pacers were able to, they were winning at halftime. Like, they were up at halftime. So if you had it, all my first half Pacers bettors, they're like, I won me something that day. I don't know about the rest of y'all. I still walked away with a little bit of change. But hell of a season from the Pacers. I mean, if you just go back from the run that they had from them, the game winners that Tyrese Halliburton had in multiple rounds, obviously in the first round against Milwaukee, going up against New York, the comebacks that they had to overcome, obviously the game winner in Game 1. I mean, just in itself, it was a tremendous season from the Pacers. Now, I know this from experience, and I know we're not even 10 minutes into the show yet. But life does come at you very, very fast in the NBA. This 2-year run. Now, they went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. Got swept. Get it. Get to the finals this year. Their star player tears their Achilles. A lot of things are going to start coming. Contracts, injuries, obviously, we've already seen. There's going to be there's a very, very good chance that they don't even make the playoffs next year. I'm not saying that that's not going to happen, but I'm saying, that's not out of the realm of possibility of what this team looks like next year. Celtics, obviously we'll get into it later, are trading a lot of their guys that were on that championship team because they need to kind of cut back cost a little bit. The Pacers are – the East is still wide open. You could definitely say that right now. There's a lot of parity in the NBA. I do love that. You see teams like the Pacers. The Pacers made moves to get Pascal Siakam. Magic are making moves to get, Desmond Bane. The Cavs are kind of looking at it like, hey, maybe we could just keep the same team and make another run at it. The Sixers are coming out and thinking, hey, well, if Joel Embiid is still healthy, we still have Paul George, and we have the number 3 overall pick. We can still make a run. So there's just, from the Pacers side, there's a lot that needs to kind of, what are they going to do next this offseason? As far as the Thunder goes, hell of a season. I mean, Shea had one of the best seasons ever. He went scoring title, MVP, Western Conference MVP, Finals MVP. I mean, you name it. He averaged 30. Had one of the best seasons ever. Got to tip your hat off to him. Sam Presti is, a lot of people were coming at him from, years ago when he made the James Harden trade. You didn't want to give him $4 million. Blah, blah, blah. We could have made it to the finals. We could have did this, that, and the third. We could have had a dynasty. 13 years later, they get back. Now, if you would have told Sam Presti, literally, when the last time we went to the finals, hey, you'll be back in 13 years. That he would probably, he probably would take that bet and say, maybe we might have a chance. But drafting guys like J-Dub, drafting guys like Chet Holmgren, getting guys like Hartenstein in the offseason, keep developing guys like Cason Wallace, Aaron Wiggins, getting Alex Caruso. I think that was last summer and a lot of people were like, it's a mid for mid trades. That's what it was kind of assumed as back then. Like people weren't really jumping down other people's throats for that trade. And I think now you're looking at it like, wow, OKC got the best part of the deal. They won a title. And now you're looking at it as literally the draft is tomorrow. And you're already hearing reports that OKC is trying to move up into the top 10 of the draft. Like this, where is the top 10 player? What is the number 10 pick? Let's just say they get 10th. What does that pick look like? They're not going to play. Where's the minutes? There's no minutes on this team currently constructed. And you are going to have some contracts coming up. Like Chet's going to be looking like, hey, my hand's going to be out. There's a couple guys going to have their hands out. And OKC's going to be like, hey, we're comfortable of the core group of guys that we have, that we just move pieces around them, get defensive-minded guys around this core group of guys that we have. Can't nobody beat us. That's how they feel right now. And I do think moving forward, OKC is going to be that team that can be aggressive because they got a bunch of picks in their back pocket for the next couple of years. So both of these teams, I feel like, are moving in different directions, and they just made the finals. So draft is tomorrow. OKC, don't be surprised if they try to make an aggressive move after they just popped champagne at the parade. Did you see Chet? Did you see Chet with the trophy?
That boy, they were going nuts.
So I thought it was cool for OKC. Obviously, it's their first championship. I mean, we're gonna hear, is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander the best OKC player? He's gonna get a statue. I don't know when. It's a question of when, not if. He's gonna get a statue. So, I'm surprised Toronto hasn't given Kawhi a statue, but he wasn't like drafted and all that. Like Shai's been there longer than Kawhi. Kawhi was there for an hour, won the championship, and dipped. But OKC, I think statues coming. So you could TikTok clip me or whatever. Statues on the way.
Yeah. And like Toddy mentioned, this team has no room for lottery picks. They had a lottery pick that won a championship in Nikola Topic and played 0 minutes. He tore his ACL before the draft. He won a championship, and the funniest thing that I saw was Chris Paul played so many games, so many minutes, and hasn't won a ring. And this dude hasn't shot the ball one time, and he has an NBA championship. So I thought that was pretty funny. Alex, what were your thoughts on the Oklahoma City Thunder winning the finals? I want everybody to know Alex originally picked them in 6. Game 7, she started backpedaling and chose the Pacers to win it all. So what went into you choosing the Pacers, Alex, and then what were your overall thoughts on the game?
Okay, so before I get to that, the statue piece, I think you have to win multiple championships for a statue. Not multiple championships, but you have to be there for a particularly
This is their first
long period of
championship
time.
ever.
I understand it's their first, but like you have to be kind of like almost homegrown, or you have to. There's like a different level. Just because he's MVP and just won their first ever. Don't get me wrong. Well, they're not first ever, but since OKC, since they moved, I just because anyway, moving on. I did pick OKC in 6 because statistically, and if you look at the overall season of the Oklahoma City Thunder, they should have honestly they should have won at 5. But the Pacers got heart, man, and I fell into it. I fell into the train, and I think it was after Game 3. I was like, oh, the Pacers are gonna do it, and they're the underdogs. Everyone doubted them. You know, Tyrese Halliburton was Mr. Overrated, you know what I mean? And he wasn't picked as an all-star, but yet he's leading his team through all of these crazy comebacks in the playoff. And I think, like, looking at their playoff run as a whole, I was like, they have to cap it off. And I truly thought if Tyrese Halliburton did not tear his Achilles, they would have won. They would have won. But you know what? It is a big what if, and I'm not taking discredit from OKC winning, because overall, from game 1 in October to game whatever this is for them in June, they have been the best team in the association. So I'm fine with flip-flopping because I fell into the hype. Now, for the Pacers, obviously this sucks. I'm interested to see if they're going to keep Miles Turner or not. They probably should, but who knows? Jared Jackson, they could just trade him there and get Jared Jackson and flip-flop it that way. But anyway, I'm interested to see what they do in free agency, knowing that their whole offense is kind of orchestrated through Halliburton, and now that he's not going to be there, kind of sucks. And shout out to him for still playing through that calf strain, knowing there's a high likelihood of him tearing his Achilles, and knowing you don't know how that's going to affect your career. That takes some balls, and I appreciate him going out like that. He was going to drop a 40 piece. But anyway, OKC side, they won. Kudos to them. Don't think they're gonna make any dramatic moves because they could just run this team back next year. I think after next year they need to make some moves because I think that's when all the contracts go in to play, and that's when like money and second apron, and for a small market team like Oklahoma, I don't think they want to be over that second apron and pay all that in luxury tax. So I think they're probably since 2019 there's been 7 different champions. I think they have the best likelihood of repeating, or at least getting another one within the next 5 years. Out of everyone else, which says a lot because there's Jokic and the Nuggets, and like wherever Giannis ends up, you still have Jason Tatum if he comes back as the player he is, or even better. So yeah, I think the East is wide open. I'm interested to see how the Magic kind of make a run. The Knicks need to be the Eastern Conference champions next year. If they are not, then I don't want to hear anything from the Knicks fans for the next 15 years. So yeah.
15 years is a long time of nothing.
This is it. This is their window. They should trade it all for Giannis and just it's right there.
Who was traded all?
Cat and probably Mikal Bridges.
Cat Bridges. They already don't have a bench, so I would assume that they would give up a lot to try and get him.
They would, especially after they gave. I mean, the Suns gave up a lot for KD. Not the Suns.
Everything.
Sorry, the Rockets. I thought a little too much, but I mean, look at Desmond Bane, and what the Magic gave up. My goodness, I don't know what is up with all these first round picks, but the Luka Doncic trade doesn't get any. So,
but unfortunately, the Pacers did lose. They were on. We all wanted to talk about. We're gonna remember this run as coming back from 15, coming back from 20. Tyrese Halliburton hitting all these crazy shots. They almost joined a unique group. There have been 3 teams over the past 20 years to win Game 6 down 3-2. We have the 2010 Lakers, the 2013 Heat, and the 2016 Cavs. All 3 of those teams came back to win in 7. Unfortunately, the Pacers weren't able to do that. For the rest of eternity, we're going to hear, well, if Tyrese didn't go down, if this didn't happen. Just like, hey, I was the guy last year who said, Tony, the only reason you're holding a banner is because Donovan Mitchell got hurt. Tyrese Halliburton got hurt last year. Hey. Jalen Brunson doesn't break his hand. Do the Celtics win? We can play that game all day. So let's sit here and let's talk about
this. But it's not in a game. It's not in a Game 7 of the NBA Finals, though. Like I understand.
Jalen Brunson got hurt Game 7 of the ECF.
No, I understand that. But they didn't. But it wasn't like a must win. Like they're hanging the trophy above half court, and it's like, hey, like whoever reaches it first gets it. It's the type of. I understand, like in the other rounds, we could always say that, oh, Steph Curry and his hamstring, and all of that, right? But in a Game 7, he's on he's what 3 of 4 from 3-point range in the first 5 minutes of the game, like. That is different than, Jalen Brunson broke his hand in Game 7 of the second round. You know what I mean? Like that. This is the NBA Finals Game 7. Like this is built different. I
agree, but we can only talk about the facts. The facts are,
yep.
Chet Holmgren Lee had the most blocks in an NBA Finals game with 5 blocks. I came in here before we get our predictions and said J-Dub and Chet have to show up. We all know SGA is going to come in here and he's a walking 30 ball. If these other two guys come to play, the Thunder are going to win. And that's what J-Dub did. Besides game 1, went on an absolute tear. He is the first guy since Kobe Bryant to have an all-star season, all-NBA season, all-defensive season, and win an NBA Finals. He averaged 24 points and 6 rebounds. That is more than the last year's NBA Finals MVP. But we don't have to get there. I was told I was crazy for taking Jalen Williams over Jaylen Brown. Alex, you missed it last week. Toddy said, of course you are. But, numbers speak louder than opinions. SGA.
Took him 7 games to do it.
You said what?
Took him 7 games to do it.
That's true.
Hey, brother, we all can't play Luka Doncic on defense. We saw but moving on. SGA at 26 years old, NBA champion, MVP, Finals MVP, WCF MVP, 3-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA, and a scoring champ. He joins a list of only 4 people to win a scoring title, an MVP, and an NBA title in the same season. Shaq, Kareem, Michael Jordan did it twice, and now Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. This team is on a historic run. We haven't seen a team like this since the Chicago Bulls. There have not been a team to win 84-plus games and win a championship since the 95-96 Bulls, the 96-97 Bulls, and the 2024-2025 Oklahoma City Thunder. This team is on track to put a dynasty together. We always talked about last year, could the Celtics do it? Injuries coming into play, A, B, C, and D. What we saw from dynasties growing up, right, with the Spurs, with the Lakers, you have your core guys. And the Thunder or the Spurs team that had their first part of the dynasty with David Robinson and a young Kawhi look different. Those two guys are completely different sides of the run. Being able to supply your guys with the right core players goes a long way. We say, like Toddy mentioned it, the money's going to have to come now. I am one to believe that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to say, I'll take a pay cut. I'm going to be the richest player in NBA history regardless.
Exactly.
Let me take a pay cut. The Thunder are going to get blessed and not hit in the second April because Chet got hurt his whole first year and missed half of this year. Because if Chet doesn't miss all his rookie year and half of this season, he's arguably on a defensive team. I don't know about an all-star, but he's arguably on an all-defensive team. So then the money just doubles. We saw Jalen Williams all-star, all-NBA, all-defensive team. So he is getting the rookie max. Chet doesn't get the rookie max because he doesn't have the accolades to go along with it. But if he were to have played a full 2 seasons, who knows? Maybe we're looking at him like we are J-Dub. So it's going to be a lot for them to figure it out. They have a lot of first-round picks. Toddy mentioned it. They're already shopping for a top 10 pick. Who could they get is really interesting. But championship teams really have core guys. And those core guys, as you can say, SGA, J-Dub, but a lot of reasons that they're here and why they weren't here last year are for 2 guys. And that is Isaiah Hartenstein and Alex Caruso. Like Toddy said, we saw these trades, we saw these signs. We're like, it's Alex Caruso. It's Isaiah Hartenstein. Alex Caruso is on a unique list, and I would love to see if you guys could name these other 2 players. There have been 3 players to win 2 championships in the 2020s. Can you name the other 2? Obviously, Alex Caruso is one.
I saw this list, too, and I forgot who was on it. I saw it earlier. 2020s.
I'll give you a
weird list, too.
Nah, the hint's too easy. Let me see if you guys get some guesses first.
I have no clue.
Alex, when I tell you, you're going to be mad that you didn't guess.
Is it Tori? No, it's not. Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday is
Drew
one.
Holiday was one.
So it's Drew Holiday, Alex Caruso, and there's one more player.
It's like a random player.
He's not random.
He's not random.
He was literally relevant in last episode.
Steph Curry? No, it's not Steph Curry.
Wait, don't tell me. Hold on.
Michael Jordan?
I'll give you a hint. He just got traded.
Kristaps Porzingis?
Not Porzingis? No.
You guys, when did he win another one?
I know. But you just said Drew Holiday.
Luka.
That was right. But
Are you guys done guessing?
No, hold on.
I said Luka.
Oh, KCP.
Yes, KCP is the third. So KCP, Drew Holiday, and Alex Chris are the three people to win 2 championships in the 2020 era.
Pretty random.
We have had Shams told us before the finals ended, this is going to be one of the most wild off seasons we've seen. And as Toddy said, he came on last week and said, I'm thinking 10 hours after the finals, KD's getting traded. And KD said, Game 7, the Thunder, y'all talking about Shai's the best Thunder of all time? Well, how about this? The Suns trade Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, and the number 10 pick. And five second-round picks, ladies and gentlemen. Alex, I'm going to swing it to you first. What were your thoughts on Kevin Durant being traded to the Rockets? And before you answer, we talked about the Oklahoma City Big Three. They have all three now have been traded to the Houston Rockets at one point in time.
It's probably a trend that's going to keep trending because one of these years, in like 10 years, one of that core, the young core now will probably be in Houston. I love the trade for Houston. They needed offense, and you get the best hooper in the game, the best scorer in the game. So I can't complain on that in that department. However, I'm really interested to see if this kind of sparks Jalen Green's redemption.
Arc.
Yeah, like I'm really excited to kind of see, okay, he didn't play so well in the playoffs. Maybe this is something he needs, and some young stars need like a kind of like a kickstart. Like they finally get to the league and they kind of are like lackadaisical. But sometimes you just need a new spot, new teammates, new coach, new system, new organization, and maybe that can kind of get their mind space right, and maybe they could ball better. I'm interested to see that. I don't think he'll probably stay at the Suns though, because I think Jalen Green and Bradley Beal are the same player, just one's younger. So I'm interested to see what the Suns do, because I don't know if they're keeping Jalen Green or if they're going to ship off Devin Booker, which is what they should do. But this is great for Houston. I think in a very stacked West, you do need a star. You do need someone who could get you a bucket, and that's exactly what Kevin Durant does. And I'm the West, man. It's hard for me to say OKC can go back to the finals because the West is about to get crazy. So that's all I have to say.
Toddy, what were your thoughts on Kevin Durant being traded to the Houston Rockets? I know we saw Fred VanVleet go for 4. We saw Mikal Bridges go for 5. So not only what are your thoughts on the trade as a whole, but what went into the trade? You know, your guy. You are the Jalen Green guy on this podcast. So how do you feel about him being shipped off after one playoff
run? Yeah, we had one good game in the playoffs. It's kind of inexcusable for his performance besides that one game. I recall our high school basketball coach going at my DMs after JG had 40. I was like, "He the next one, coach," and he was like, "Chill out. Steph's coming next game." He was like, "Chill out. Steph's coming next game. Don't worry about it." He was like, "I'll bet on Steph every day and twice on Sundays before Jalen Green has another 40-point game." And I was like, They the YNs, coach. They next. They time is now. Little did I know, Jalen Green was go on to score 8 points like twice the next couple of games. I think his time in Houston, I get it. He's had a little bit of time. He's had a full rookie contract. Kevin will like to be the guy that says, "Oh, look at all the other guys in this draft. Look at Cade. Look at Jabari. Look at
Jabari, Franz,
Sugg. Look at all these guys. Look how much money they got. How come he ain't get that? He got a little bit more. Everybody else is up here. He was a little bit right down here, and might have been right. Can
you say that again for the audio listeners? That Kevin was right. I don't feel like you said that.
You could argue the Amin Thompson Jalen Green dynamic was going to run its course, and who were you going to pick out of the two? I think we all would say Ben Thompson. So they found a trade partner, and unfortunately, they were I feel like they wanted a third team in this deal because reports coming out that the Suns are going to try and reroute Jalen Green just because of the redundancy of Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, who makes way too much money. I think we all can agree, and Jalen Green. Um, I don't think Devin Booker's going anywhere unless he's on the market and no one else knows about it. Bradley Beal is literally impossible to move unless he says it's okay. Um, he got his feet up, doing whatever he wants to do. He's counting his however much he like. Either y'all could cut me and I get all of the money, or you trade me where I want to go, and they have to take on my contract. So Jalen Green is kind of just in a weird limbo situation of okay, I can play here, but it's not really going to work out in my favor because they don't really have a point guard. I don't know where exactly he will be going next. I'm just thinking he needs to go to like a bad team probably and just coop like a
Like he's done his whole
Charlotte,
career.
like a Charlotte or a Wizards.
Miles of 10 wins.
Yeah, like a Wizards or like a Utah, like somewhere just where they just don't care about basketball. He could just go hoop, put up numbers, then somebody be like, hey, kind of like what the Wizards did today with Jordan Poole. Like Jordan Poole, I don't know necessarily say he went to the Wizards and hooped, but I mean, he averaged like 24, like 20 something. So I mean, he's going to the Pelicans, and we'll probably get into that trade later. But the Pelicans, the swap, the Poole for McCollum swap is kind of the same in my opinion. But I do think he has to go somewhere and kind of just figure it all out. But I mean, technically, was on a bad team. They just got good, so I don't know. I want him just to go hoop and just. I mean, it was kind of set up for him. I mean, he had Ime Udoka, just took the Celtics to the finals. Um, they got a really good team, a lot of good pieces around. They just drafted Reed Shepard, who was number 3, but he didn't even play. So I don't know, man. It's kind of up in the air because when you put on a performance like that in the playoffs, it's going to be tough for the league as a whole to kind of wrap their arms around and say, hey, we want you to be our number one guy, our number one scorer, or that even the number 2 guy. So the real question is, can Jalen Green be a number 2 guy on a championship team? And I don't know the answer to that question because he's so young. So as a lot, I think it's 23, probably turning 24 next year. So the jury's still out on Jalen Green. But right now, he just kind of has to just lock in. Summer's here, just work on your game. I think he's probably got to work on his 3-ball a little bit just to get a little bit better at that. But I mean, all of the tools are there. Like he had a 40-point game. There was a stat that said he was like the youngest Rocket ever to score 40 points in a playoff game. So I mean, the potential's there. He just has to be way more consistent than he's been. He's been very erratic as a basketball player his entire NBA career. So if he can just be a little bit more consistent, I think he'll find a happy home.
You got it, Alex.
I just want to say something that Toddy kind of touched on. He does need to get his lit back. He needs to kind of maybe go to a team that's kind of washed to just build his confidence back up, right? And it's really interesting looking at these young players and seeing how they kind of deal with criticism, right? Like you have players kind of like Ben Simmons, right? Like don't really know the whole situation, what happened with him, right? And I'm not gonna say whether he was feeling some type of way or he wasn't, but I'm just saying like that caused him now to be a minimum player now. Like he's only making like $1 million a year, and he's gonna probably be just washed up from team to team. So I'm really interested to kind of see if this is gonna build or break him type of vibe, and if he's gonna get that respect from not just like his colleagues, but from the league in general, right? And that's something that I know we're past it, but like I think Wendy was saying today on First Take or something like that was like Tyrese got a lot of respect from not just like basketball players, but just like athletes in general for going out and still trying to do something in game 7. And I feel like that respect is obviously something that's very valuable. But you have to show it. And I feel like you saw glimpses, especially in that like that one random, I think his only double digit game that series, and then like he had like 9, 8, 7 points the rest of the other 6 games. So I wish him nothing but the best. I want like him to kind of flourish, and I think he's gonna be a great player. He just needs like a good spot, and he needs a really good coaching staff. And I felt like Ime was good for him, but yeah.
So before we move on, we got to get to some of these comments. Smub, Alex and I's father, said Jalen Green is the new playoff P.
He didn't name himself playoff P, so it's okay.
So I'm going to say something, and I need you guys to just listen before you make a face, okay? Ty, I want you to unmute yourself because you're going to say something, okay? I get it. Jalen Green, one bad game. Help lead this team to a number 2 seed.
I said one.
And they trade him after a performance of him averaging 14 points throughout the playoffs. There's a guy who is arguably the GOAT in some people's minds. Kobe Bryant, averaged 8 points and 9 points his first 2 playoff games. Jalen Williams, the second best player on the NBA championship team, averaged 15 points last year. Could you imagine them trading Jalen Williams? I'm not saying Jalen Green's going to bounce back and shock the world, but one bad performance doesn't mean you have to blow it all up.
It's not blowing it all up, though.
So you're telling me trading for 36-year-old Kevin Durant, they're probably going to give him a 2-year contract. He's won 2 playoff series in the past 6 years. I told Toddy, you're trading for the name Kevin Durant.
Yes.
You're telling me they couldn't have traded that number 10 pick? Excuse me. And got another contributor to this team? There's a lot of things they could have done, and I get it. Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant. Since he's left Golden State, he's done absolutely nothing. Well, Kevin, if he had a half a size foot smaller, who knows? What ifs? A lot of wishing and hoping. Kevin Durant, I get it. Phenomenal player. Ime coached him in Brooklyn. World Ivy is on the staff. They were college teammates. They were teammates in OKC. And I get it. You can talk me into it. Kevin Durant shot 49% on jumpers in the NBA last season. The Rockets were 27th. Kevin Durant was the best ISO scorer in the league. The Rockets were top 5 in ISO shots attempted and 27th in ISO scoring. I get it. It all sounds good. But 2 playoff wins, 2 playoff series in 6 seasons? If Jalen Green turns out to be something and this doesn't work, who do we point the finger at? Because I get it. You got to keep the young core. You got to keep Alperen Sengun. You got to keep Amin Thompson. You got to keep Jabari Smith, Reed Shepard, Cam Whitmore, Jabari Eason. I get it. But just think in the back of your head, Jeff Teague said it best. What the fuck would the Lakers have done if they would have traded Kobe after averaging less than 10 points in his first 2 playoff rounds, 2 years in the playoffs? This could come back and bite them. Jalen Green, like Alex said, is going to go on his villain arc. We're going to see what he's doing. Tyler, are you stretching or are you raising your hand?
I'm raising my hand.
Oh, go ahead. Let me hear it.
Say it.
So last year, Kevin Durant averaged 26 points.
Okay, hold on. Let's go back to that. Let's go take the tap. Let's go take the tap. What did they finish? What was their record? Did they make the play-in?
Whoa. He didn't go tick-tack for you. Let him speak. Let the man speak.
I'll wait.
So Kevin Durant averaged 26 points last year. Shot 43% from 3, 52% from the field. And you said they were 25th in ISO scoring. They were the 2nd seed this past year, and that's with no Kevin. They were the 2nd seed without a go-to scorer, perhaps would you say. What'd you do? Kevin Durant, do you think he's like a number 1 option on the team? Would you say that?
Okay, I get it. He averaged a lot of numbers.
Is that a yes? Is that a yes?
It's just a yes or no question.
On this
Answer.
team,
Yes or no question?
I think it's 1A, 1B.
Who's 1B?
Sengun, the all-star? Yeah, no one said nothing. Just a bunch of putting hands on faces. No one's rebutted. Everyone's just shaking their head. Toddy, so
I think it's you.
So hold on. Before you get to more numbers, let me give the audience what they're listening for. 36 wins and 46 losses. He put up all these numbers on a team that meant nothing and did nothing.
Look at the team. Look at the team. First of all, we're not going to discredit my GOAT, okay? He is the GOAT. And the fact that you walked in this podcast with the Kevin Durant jersey and now you're just talking like this about him, the disrespect will not be taken over here, okay? One, I understand he has not done anything substantial since 2019. He did tear his Achilles, and he did come back from an Achilles tear after the age of 30 when no one thought he would. Okay, he did win 2 gold medals after that. He did lead his very injured Nets to the playoffs. Okay, 2 7 games to the then eventually NBA champions. So we're not going to sit here and go tit for tat. Okay, he hasn't gotten a good system and a good team around him. He could ball, but one person cannot win you multiple games in this league.
So you're saying he hasn't had a good system since the Warriors?
Yes. Oh, well, time out.
Okay, yeah,
he hasn't had a healthy one too, because the Nets were good if Kyrie Irving and James Harden did not get injured. If one of them were just not injured, they would have went to the finals that year.
You know what you had to start that last sentence with? If.
Everything's about
something that actually happened. He's won 2 playoff series in 6 years. He got swept last year, 2 years ago, and then this year didn't even make it. His team had a top 10 pick. You want to mention all these stats? Alex, you're not a football player. You're not a football person. Don't no one give a fuck that Dak's top 3 at MVP when they don't make it to the playoffs. I'm just saying.
But we're not going to do
to have fun outside the party, but everyone wants to get in. He's just sitting in line waiting to get in. Everyone's having fun.
He started the party. First of all, we're not going to disrespect one of the GOATs in this league. I understand in this last generation of basketball players, everyone points at everyone points at Steph and LeBron, and rightfully so. But let's not get it twisted. KD evolved the game. Everyone wants a KD on their team. I would do anything to get a KD on my team too. And the fact that he's still balling like this at what, 36? 30, 35, 36, 37?
36
after torn Achilles, bro? He is 7 foot. Shooting 50% from the 3-point line. He's probably 90% on the free throw line too.
40%, 50 from the field.
Thank you. So what I'm trying to say is like, I understand where the Houston Rockets were coming from with we need offense. Here you go. If they couldn't get Giannis, there is KD on the table. So I don't understand why this is a bad trade. I understand Jalen Green.
I understand why they did it. Okay, I'm cooking. Go ahead.
I understand Jalen Green, and he might be, but we did not think Kobe Bryant was going to be Kobe Bryant. Let's be honest. We did not think Kobe Bryant in his first 2 playoff games were going to be the Kobe Bryant. And we never know. And people take that chance. OKC took that chance on Jalen Williams. They didn't take it on Giddey, though. They traded him quick. And now look at where they're at. So you just have to kind of see what the organization thinks of you. I mean, the Mavericks traded Luka. So we're not going to compare Jalen Green to the GOAT, Kobe Bean Bryant. I'm sorry. We're not.
So you mentioned Kevin Durant changed the game. Is this the same Kevin Durant that joined the best team to ever touch basketball to win a championship? Yes. That Kevin Durant?
Yes.
The Kevin Durant that couldn't beat LeBron, so he joined the best basketball team ever to touch a basketball? That Kevin Durant?
Yes.
The Kevin Durant who tore his Achilles and said, I don't get enough credit. I want my own team. So he got his own team, and he's been in Cancun a lot. Frequent flyer.
He does things unorthodoxly. Yes. He does things differently than what we all think he should. But that's just the player he is. And I'm not knocking him for wanting to go team to team because he still is the GOAT regardless of that. He'll still get his buckets. He'll still do what he needs to do. He's still consistent. You know what I mean? But I think it can't just be based on one player. We've seen teams get carried by one person and look where they end up. So
Kevin Durant's SGA. I don't think Kevin Durant's LeBron. I don't think KD's Steph. All those.
I'm not saying KD is any of those players. KD is his own player.
You've seen one guy carry a team. I don't think KD's doing that at 36.
No, I understand that. But when did Steph carry his own team?
2020 when they beat the Celtics, or 2022.
Facts. Apologies. 22. That was the only time he did that.
Hey, it happened.
Hey, I'm just saying.
You ask, and you shall receive.
You know,
Kevin,
I don't respect that.
I think we're getting a little bit off track here because you got Kevin fired up about a whole different topic that he has been years invested.
Yeah, roll that back. Roll that back.
He's taking it all out.
Roll that back. All right, Kevin.
What do you think the Rockets will look like going into next year? Do you think Kevin Durant can still average 25 plus on a team like this?
Of course, he's going to average 25 points because Tyler's going to say he's only averaged 21 times in his rookie year. All cool and dandy. You take away those 2 years out of him from the Thunder or from the Warriors, what is he? A dude who gets a lot of buckets? No one was praising Carmelo Anthony when he was doing this because he doesn't win.
Because he wasn't 7 foot, Kevin.
So because he's 4 inches shorter.
With a handle like a guard, Kevin.
Alex, it sounds good. It sounds amazing. Perfect demigod in 2K. 2 playoff wins, series wins in the past 6 years.
Can the Rockets
make it see what they traded for prime KD? So now he's on another super team. So now what's the
super team?
This is a super team, Kevin?
Super team? This is not a super team.
Was the Suns not a super team?
Suns were a super team, technically.
Wow. What makes them a super team?
By the constraints of contracts and players. And
so it's a contract thing. So having max players make it a super team.
We thought it was a super team. Yes, technically.
Technically, everyone thought so. I didn't think so because Bradley Beal isn't that type of player. But when you have a no trade clause, you're considered one of those players.
You know, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But these next 2 segments, I'm just going to sit back and let the Celtic fans talk. Because there was a video. We did a factor cap where the Celtics going back to back, and Toddy said, back to back. Kevin, is the sky blue? Is Jason Tatum not the best player in the world? The team is crumbling. The Blazers trade Anthony Simons to the Boston Celtics for Jrue Holiday and a 2nd-round pick. Toddy, let us know. Anthony Simons, you said we back. What are we back to?
I love the trade. I love Anthony Simons. Great young player in this league. I don't know if you guys heard of who Damian Lillard is, but he's been there studying under Dame Lillard. If you watch the way if you watch the way that he plays his game, it's very similar in his, his step back. If you look at that, very similar with Dame. I'm not saying he's Dame. I'm not saying that. But I think given what our team looks like, because I do think Jason Tatum's going to be out for the entire year next year, we let Anthony Simons roll that ball out. Hey, go get your dub. Go get your 25. Jaylen Brown is right here. You got Jaylen Brown right here. For now, he's right next to you. Go do what you do. So I love what he's going to be able to bring to the table. We also got Jordan Niang today. I don't know how I feel about that. But I do like the Anthony Simons deal. Young player, never really played winning basketball, so he's going to a whole nother different environment, and championships are expected. Getting to play alongside guys like eventually Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, guys with that, and Derek White. So Yeah, I like the trade. I think what we're trying to do. I knew that Drew Holiday was going to be gone. I knew Porzingis were going to be gone. Those were the first two guys gone before the draft even happened. Trying to get below that number. But I do think when the Jays are healthy, we win championships. So, Anthony Simons down the line. Anthony, Jalen Brown, JT. I'm here for it. But I think we got to wait a little bit. Now, there have been talks about Jalen Brown, about Derek White. They want our guys. And I would too. I would want Jalen Brown on my team too. When you draft him, you develop him. He's been through it all. He's been through the ups and downs. He's developed so much as a player, as a person. He is. You would have like number 2 overall pick. That's what I want. You want Jalen Brown. I want Dylan Harper.
We're moving on, Toddy. No one thinks Jalen Brown is as good as you think he is.
That's why. And the Finals MVP. Kevin's the main one that be talking about hardware on this podcast. All NBA, All Star.
Rings.
What do you think he is?
I mean, he played on the super team, did he not?
Now we're a super team. God, Kevin should be using that word on this podcast. Super team this, super team that.
Super team has to be constructed.
Derek White.
Jason Tatum.
I'm just trying to
Porzingis.
Jalen Brown. These guys aren't available to me. Like, I'm just like, we're good.
They were during the finals run. During the finals run, they were
available.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about?
Porzingis only missed one game in the finals.
No, I meant like for a trade. That's what I meant. I meant like if like.
That's because y'all the only team in the world.
Whoa, let the man speak.
Those two guys, I feel like we're straight. I felt like the guys that we had to get rid of, we got rid of, and now we're just now if we get an offer that I can't refuse, I'm gonna just put my hands up and do the Drewski beam and just say this is it is what it is. But like it have to be something Luka-ish.
Bro, who do you think Jalen Brown is?
Okay, Desmond Bain went 4 first-round picks.
Desmond Bain went for 2, and they had to give 2 for a $40 million 36-year-old. That's why he went for 4 first-round picks.
Something like that, and a player, or the number 2 overall pick.
Brother, no one thinks he's that good.
So we'll just pay the luxury tax. We got it.
No one thinks he's that good for the number 2 overall pick.
Okay.
Is he better than Kevin Durant?
Say that one more time.
Is Jalen Brown better than Kevin Durant?
Right now?
Yes.
I don't know.
No, that means no. And they told Kevin Durant, hell no.
Well, Kevin Durant's 36. Jalen
Brown is prime. They still would say hell no.
Okay, well, he's just not available now. We're good.
Now he's not available. I'll take whatever I can get. Now he's not available.
We're good. Alex, I told you what I want.
Alex, let's move it on. What were your thoughts on you guys trading Drew Holiday for Anthony Simons?
It sucks. I really like Drew Holiday. But I don't know. I think he peaked. He didn't peak in the Olympics, but that was like his probably last good. I felt like maybe he has a few more years under him. This last year, he did look a little old. And that's just what the game does to you, especially as a guard. And so, I mean, I understand they don't want to pay $500 million in payroll. That's ridiculous, especially as I'm a new owner. I'm like, we need to get this down quickly. So I understand he's on the chopping block. I'm interested to see what they do with Hartford, or Horford, my bad. See what they do with if they re-sign him or they keep him or something like that. Or I know Porzingis had to go. I'm shocked they got Porzingis out of there. With all the sickness he's been dealing with, I am shocked that anyone still wants him. Because that man, he got something that we don't know of.
That's for Jalen Johnson.
But maybe Atlanta could figure it out. So I like.
Oh, my bad. You go.
I was just about to say I like Niang. Anthony Simmons, he's a good 3-point shooter. He's horrible on defense, and that's what the Celtics do. So I don't see why not. I hope I hope we don't trade Jaylen Brown or Derek White. But like Toddy said, if it's a really great deal and we get someone back that's equally as good, I mean, why not? But I don't think so. I think it's going to be Jaylen Brown's team next year. I don't think they're out of the playoffs, but they're out of contention, I believe, with all of these changes they're making, which is really unfortunate, but that's just how it is. So, hopefully Jason Tatum, comes back quick. I mean, Kobe Bryant was only out, 6 months? He got hurt like April and came back like December.
He was in Germany.
From my knowledge.
He went to that little corner stuff.
What you said?
Kobe went to Germany. He went to the little corner store and they said, "Here, Kobe, take mine."
He got a whole new Achilles.
Let me repair it. Just take mine. Rip it out,
Got
Kobe.
a whole new muscle.
So we're moving on. The Celtics trade Kristaps Porzingis to the Hawks. I'm gonna come on here and say something outlandish.
Oh goodness.
The Atlanta Hawks are a playoff lock next season.
Oh.
Top six.
So you think you're
lock, sealed, delivered. Y'all didn't
top
want to
six?
Let me talk. You don't want to take the time for nobody else. Let me talk. Trae Young, Zachary Ricochet, Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, Kristaps Porzingis, and they still have Okonio. I butchered his name. They got the number 12 pick in the draft. And they're not done making trades. They're going to keep it going. Because like you guys said, the East is wide open.
It ain't that open for them.
The Knicks ain't got no bitch. Is it going to be the Cavs? Can they stay healthy? The Magic? The Hawks? You know who's not going to be in ECF? The goddamn Boston Celtics. You guys gave up on KCP. He helped you win a championship. And y'all threw him to the trash like he was garbage. So now what does he got to do? He's going to help them go to the promised land. I'm not saying they're going to win it all, but they got a goddamn good chance. I'm going to come out here and say it right now. Atlanta Hawks, Orlando Magic, ECF. Stand.
So who beats the Knicks? The Magic or the Hawks?
The Magic probably beat them, and the Hawks can beat the Cavs.
Interesting.
Because of the Cavs that have DG, like they're going over the luxury tax too. So we're seeing the Celtics make all these moves. The Cavs aren't far behind. So are they going to have to blow up their team? There's a lot of guys that smell blood in the water. And I bet if KD would have waited one day, he would have chose the Heat. That's the easy finals run.
Tony in Miami.
Ain't nobody trying to go to the Heat. The Heat ain't got nobody. But what, Tyler Hero? Bam?
You telling me Tyler Hero, Bam, and KD couldn't go to the ECF?
No. Because one of them would have.
But Fred VanVleet, KD, and Elf Prince and Goon can do something, huh?
Kevin, one of them would have been in the trade.
You said what?
One of them would have been a part of the
crazy
trade.
as fuck. For Kevin Durant at 36? No, they wouldn't. Shams reported the reason they didn't do it because they didn't want to put Khalil Ware, Jaime Hawkins, or the lottery pick in there. They weren't trading Bam or Tyler Hero.
Duh.
Who do you think Tyler Hero is?
KP, an all-star?
An all-star?
Oh, I'm sorry. Jalen Brown's been an all-star, what, twice? One more time?
All-NBA? Finals MVP?
Defensive player? Not defensive player, but he's been an all-NBA.
Don't utter those words. That's not true.
Don't do that, Kevin.
I'm just saying.
Kevin's on a heater. Kevin's coming for our throats today. You should have told me you were coming for me. You should have told me.
Toddy woke up this morning saying, "Tank for AJ, play it."
Are we going to the play-in next
year? Toddy, what were your thoughts? You not only traded Drew Holiday, but you traded Kristaps Porzingis in less than 24 hours.
But I knew that was going to happen, though.
But now that it actually happened.
Thank goodness.
I mean, we're here. We'll
Alex,
see what else
anything else to say about it?
Let's keep it rolling.
Because we're about to get spicy.
Yeah, let's keep it.
There is a group chat with Alex and Toddy and I. I am going to send a graphic into there, and it is going to play in to our next segment. So I need you guys to look at the segment, and I'm going to go first.
Oh, God, help me.
Fact or cap? SGA had the best finals performance in the last 6 years. I'm going to say Cap because there's a guy named Giannis Antetokounmpo who averaged 36 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks, and a steal. 62, 20, and 66. No one took the Milwaukee Bucks going into that championship. They were down 2-0 to the Phoenix Suns with Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges,
They were saying
DeAndre Ayton, Cameron Johnson. They thought they were done. Giannis just beat the Nets with Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden. I get it. SGA put up some serious numbers. That's my guy. I really wanted to say this is a fact, but Giannis went on an absolute tear. And I get it. LeBron won one in the last 6 years, but he didn't average 36. Giannis single-handedly carried that team.
Didn't LeBron average like 36 the year they lost Kyrie and?
Yeah, but it's the last 6 years. Only the last.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay.
So I'm gonna have to go for Cap. Excuse me. I'm gonna go Giannis Antetokounmpo, taking that team that no one thought was gonna be able to win a championship over that threshold and finishing it with a 55-point nugget. SGA didn't put up 55 in no game. So I'm going to have to say Cap. So, Toddy, now that you guys have the numbers in front of you, I'm going to swing it to you next. Fact or Cap? SGA had the best finals MVP performance in the last 6 years.
Yeah, obviously this is a Cap. There was a couple of guys that I thought you would have put over him. I thought Jokic, those couple of that year that he won it, he was pretty spectacular. 30, 14, and 7. Kevin has the numbers brought up. Those numbers were pretty insane. The Giannis finals, he had 50 in the closeout game. Like, he went to Chick-fil-A and said, "Can I get a 50-piece nugget?" That was just insane by itself. That was a pretty crazy that was a crazy playoff run itself. That was the Trae Young, that whole era. The Steph Finals MVP was pretty crazy because nobody was picking the Warriors to win, let alone get out the couple of rounds that they did. They had to go through Ja. I think Ja was hurt, but Memphis was like a number. They were like a higher seed. They went through Luka pretty handedly, and they beat the Celtics, who I thought we kind of had. We were up 2-1, I believe, and the Warriors came back and won. I wasn't a happy camper the rest of that summer. And there was LeBron in the bubble. He did pretty darn decent against that. Seemed like capped out Miami Heat team. But I do think this run that Shea's had, I mean, Shea pretty much all year, even last year kind of was, I'm averaging 30. So we know what we're going to get from him from that standpoint. But I'm looking at the opponent, not the opponents, but just
the run as a whole.
Yeah, like the performances, how he got
this is just the finals MVP performances, not about the whole run. Just about the game.
I think, I don't know.
So you're saying Joker was the best run in the last 6 years?
I probably agree. I'll probably go with Steph, just because no one was picking that team. No one was thinking that they were going to make it to the finals. Maybe make a decent playoff push and just what they were able to do. But yeah, I saw Steph do some insane things that final. Like, I was just like, I can't do anything. Steph Curry, great. We lose.
All right, Alex, are you going to make it 3 for 3? Fact or Cap? SGA had the best finals MVP performance in the last 6 years.
I want to say fact, but it's definitely Cap.
So we did.
No, screw it. It's fact. You want to know why? Because none of these other finals MVPs went to 7 games. And a tough 7 games. And like Toddy said, you kind of have to look at the opponent they played, right? And you have to understand, like, I get, because I was going for Jokic, right? But I'm like, they did play the 8th seed Heat that by the skin of their teeth made it to the finals. Like, went from play-in to the finals. And they basically got swept. I almost kind of want to say Steph too. And I get that, especially because everyone kind of underestimated them. But Shea, for him to be so consistent throughout the regular season and the playoffs, and then including the finals, being down 2-1, right? Doing a game, having a horrible game 6, getting blown out, right? Everyone's underestimating them. Your whole I understand the whole season's on the line because this is the last game of the season, but like if they lose that game 7, that is going to haunt not only Shai's career, but the Oklahoma City Thunder's franchise for a very long time. So the stakes were very high, and he still put up great numbers, 30, 40, 30 points, 4 rebounds, almost 5 rebounds, and like 6 assists. So I'm going to give it a Shai. I'm going to say fact.
There you go. It's funny that no one said Mr. Jalen Brown. We mentioned everybody else. We mentioned all 5 of them.
Why are you attacking us?
Hey, I'm just saying.
It is Tuesday.
I'm just saying. He's in that graphic. We talked about everybody else in the graphic but him.
But they did play a washed Mavericks. So that's why. It has to be like the opponent.
Hey, you're telling me, sister, I believe. I wouldn't have picked him either. But that is going to conclude episode 140.
Who's going number 1 tomorrow, Jeff?
Huh?
Who's going number 1 tomorrow?
I'm getting in that. So episode 149 concludes. Episode 150 will be tomorrow night. We will be recapping the NBA draft. Alex, if you want to join us, you're more than welcome to. We will recap it. The Sacramento Kings are going to trade in the top 10 and get a Ace Bailey, Kaman Malawach. Hey, you never know. You never know.
Here he go.
How do you say Jalen Brown was the number 2 pick? I can shoot high too.
Here he go. Here he go.
When was the last time you guys were picking in the top?
Okay,
5?
I get it. We don't got good history. If
we're not good with our draft picks, Kevin.
Bad, I get it. A man could dream. Okay?
Well, pick a better dream.
Wasn't it Keegan Murray? That was the last time y'all picked? Kevin was livid that day. he was
look at I was at my bachelor party, pissed.
Yeah, angry.
You're taking shade of sharp. Look at him. Boy, oh boy. But that is going to do it for episode 149 of Stats Over Politics. Please continue to follow us on all the socials, Instagram, X, TikTok, wherever you guys are at. Before I sign off my 2 colleagues, Alex, I just want to say thank you from the 3 of us. You have held it down with us through the basketball season. This year, we've had a different kind of change-up. As everybody knows, Gary left off the show, so we brought on Kaz for football and Alex for basketball. So I want to say thank you, Alex. It's been a long basketball season. We appreciate you coming on with us. State champion Alex Dent. Last time signing off. We appreciate you. Toddy, we will be back tomorrow to talk about the Sacramento Kings trading up in the top 10, but we'll say that for now. That is going to do it for episode 149 of Stats Over Politics. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, turn the notifications on, because you will get our ding tomorrow when we go live. We don't have a time set yet. Toddy and I tried the whole live thing for the lottery. It took us an hour and 25 minutes. We will not be doing that. So, just turn the notifications on, and you'll see us when you see us. That is all. Kevin Dent, Alex Dent, Toddy, and Shaun Holko signing off. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you.
Peace.